But going back to the who am I and what mission am I on, I think it's really about asking the question of what kind of home we're creating. And at this stage of my life, since I started my business after my kids were growing up, my last two kids were growing up, and honestly, that was tough on my family because they were just so used to me playing the role as mom, just holding the fort, keep the fire burning kind of a thing. But when I left and started my business, I went all in. I went to Indonesia for 2.5 years and I lived there. And I was away from my family for that length of time. And it was while I was there that I noticed that with just a little bit of an adjustment, the makers could create products that would be more appealing to a family like mine, namely people that were heavy, children, teenagers, friends. I mean, just like the constant drill and marching and dirt and stuff coming through your home. So for me, it was always about what was going to come back to my home. How was this going to come back and benefit my life? And now we live in a world where we have to look at more closely what we're actually putting in our homes. Stuff like the plastics that we buy, and how satisfied are we with even this furniture, the sofas we buy, and the chairs we buy. So I'm not going to say that rattan furniture is the strongest option, but I am going to say that it is one of the most unique options to incorporate into your home. The reason why is because it's kind of like sand at the beach. I mean, sand is not really, it's just sand, but there's something about it, the touching of it. And that's the same thing with rattan furniture. There's something about the color, the texture, the lightness of it, and the familiarity for wildlife. They recognize it as familiar, and so they're drawn to it, like, for example, birds. So it brings an interesting aesthetic. And so I would say that if you're in your home, if you're feeling like it's kind of drab, then one of the best things that you can do is just put a rattan pendant in your space, like say one on either side of your bed hanging, or over a dining room table, or over your sofa, or in an entryway. I mean, there's just so many places. In a bathroom, you can hang little ones in your bathroom, and they cast very interesting shadows. So that's one of the ways that you could bring rattan into your home, and many, many other ways. But as you're looking at cleaning out some of your furniture and stuff, maybe you could think about just creating new groupings and sorting them out like you would anything else that you have, and ask yourself, is there enough organic products in my home to make this exciting? And if not, you'll know what you need to do. You'll know what you need to add.